Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
You really adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Bazinga.
2 in the box. Ready to go.
We be fast.
They be slow.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
And we're recording. Welcome.
The YouTube crowd has got a lot of extra stuff.
I know. Welcome to the Mt.Geekmore podcast, your favorite podcast where you come to listen to people talk, debate, and argue over their favorite top 4, Mount Rushmore, if you will, of their favorite pop culture subjects. Today's pop culture subject, as you can tell by looking at your listening device, that could be YouTube, because we're on YouTube now, is the Mount Rushmore of Thanksgiving Day foods. In celebration of this day of genocide and gluttony. So in celebration of genocide and gluttony, we are putting out this episode. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you don't, go stuff your face with some more food, you fat fucks. I am Nary Science. With me, as usual, is David.
Howdy.
And we have Daniel DeBona.
What's up, y'all?
And we have Jeff.
Oh.
All right, so
Jeff.
We are talking about Thanksgiving Day foods. That we are recording this. Is it 2 days before Thanksgiving? 3 days before Thanksgiving?
It's a week and 2 days.
A week and 2 days. Oh, I thought it was 2 days. Okay, so a week and 2 days before Thanksgiving. Oh, this is actually good timing. For once, we actually recorded an episode.
It's crazy.
It's amazing how this happens.
Yeah.
No, because we're never really good at this. We always record something after it happens. So we normally record Valentine's Day themed shows the day after Valentine's. I'm like, well, it's not going to be put out for another week. So, and that's, I'm putting that on me. I'm putting that on me. I'm just saying it's most of the time we fuck up. But this is actually on time.
Well, I mean, we can't exactly predict when a celebrity is going to die. So we can't do something commemorating Sean Connery.
Yeah, but we should have had that. We should have had that in the can. We should have had that in the can. That one should have been.
And who knows when Valentine's Day will be next year? Valentine's Day could be whenever.
Yeah, we should have had Sean Connery's episode prepped and ready to go with that, just like the finger on the button, like he's dead. Release and oh, look at that.
It's like how AMC right now is just sitting on that Harrison Ford day right now. They're like, here it comes.
We were always really good about the horror ones though, because Dave and I made sure that if it was Halloween, we were gonna do a horror themed one.
Yeah. All right, so let's get it going, man. From my viewpoint, I have DeBona on my right hand side. So DeBona, you're gonna go first. How did you come up with your mountain?
I went with the Neary method on this one, and I'm just going from the gut, man. I didn't make a big list. I've got some ideas. It's cool. I gotta go in here, but I'm just going with what I feel like, what seems right. I try to think about things that I usually only eat on Thanksgiving, and just those things that I look really forward to getting on my plate.
You know, it's funny because you said I went with the Neary method, and I was like, oh, fat guy. Yeah, that makes sense. You went with the fat guy method for food.
I was like, what would this be?
Yeah, for a food topic, that makes sense. And then I realized halfway into the description, it wasn't until halfway into the description that I realized, oh, he doesn't mean, it wasn't a fat joke. He means like how I'm always choosing at the last minute my mountain. Okay, yeah, man. But it could have been either one. It could have been, I think, both.
That would have been great though if DeBona was like, no, it was because you're fat.
Yeah, no. Oh, with the Neary method, no.
Yeah, no, you were right the first time.
No, you were accurate.
Yeah, your story checks out. Dave, how did you select your mountain?
Very similarly, I went with foods that I typically only eat on Thanksgiving, and this is just the food I eat on Thanksgiving. And my favorites. There's not much else to say.
Does Scotch count as a food?
It does if you freeze it. It does if you freeze it and lick the lollipops.
It's a slush.
No, you make an ice tray. You can make an ice tray full of little fucking scotch, and then you just put little lollipop sticks. Jeff,
one of my favorite drinks and drink around the world when I go to Epcot is they do a Grey Goose slushy in France. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Yeah. But how did I do my mountain? So kind of like the Bona. I kind of went with the stuff, the four things that always have to be on my plate. Whatever's made, whatever's out there, these are the four things I always have to have on my plate, and probably multiple of those things on my plate. If not, I'm not happy on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I am. Look, I'm gonna put my cards on a table, man. I don't like Thanksgiving as a holiday, and you guys know this. I'm talking mostly to the listener who may not know this.
Yeah.
But you guys know this. I'm not a fan of for a long time. For a long time, I've not liked the holiday for different reasons. For the most part, for like I could probably 15, 20 years, I didn't like the holiday because it was when everybody else ate the way I normally eat. And I'm like, now you guys are just fucking hacks. You guys are just, I do this shit every fucking day, son. Like, you going, now you going to be gluttonous? Now, motherfucker? Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
So for like 15 or 20 years,
I believe it's gratuitous.
Yes, gratuitous. So I didn't like it for that reason. I just thought it was a hacky holiday. I was like, what? Everybody's just eating. Like, okay, who gives a shit? And then for like the last 5 years, I was really just started like, disliking it because of the whole genocide and what it represents, and I'm like, oh, this is not. I'm not a fan, but I am a fan of food, which is why I'm here on this episode. So I made my selection based upon the foods that I eat on Thanksgiving, and I will go as far as saying I only eat these foods on Thanksgiving. I don't think I eat anything else. I may try something else, but that's not the same thing as eating, like what Dave said, is multiple portions. That to me is like, okay, I went back and got some more of this shit. So like if you come over and you made something that I've never had before, I'll fucking try it. But that's not the same as eating the fucking thing. Like I'm not yeah, so I'm looking at my thing now. I'm like, maybe there's like one or two items that I also eat, but for the most part I think this is what I eat. Anyways, with that said, what?
One thing I'm going to bounce off with you is Thanksgiving's not necessarily my favorite holiday either. I just find it ironic that the whole idea of giving thanks for everything we have, except for the 55-inch TV I'm going to camp out at Walmart for the next day for $100. That's going to be on sale for $100.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice, but I always prefer Noche Buena, being born and raised in Miami, to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many other holidays. I prefer Halloween over Thanksgiving. I mean, Flag Day, Arbor Day. I just, fucking Arbor Day, Boxing Day, Canadian Boxing Day. I like all these holidays before. And then here's the thing with me personally, and this is totally, I mean, just it's gonna sound cheesy and corny, but I'm a cheesy and corny dude. Like my parents, growing up super poor, and the fact that they live with me and the whole nine. But my parents they've always instilled that whole like, be appreciative of what you got. Like, we don't do that for one special day, like, which is one of the main reasons why I'm a big pussy and I cry at movies and I'm like, oh my god, and they're in love, and I'm fucking cheesy and corny, and that's just the way I was raised, and that's the way, and I'm okay with being cheesy and corny. But so there's not like that one day where I'm like, I'm giving thanks for what I have. Like especially when you have kids, oh dude, I am grateful every day when they go to sleep. So they, because I had to make it funny. All right. Anyways, with that said, let's go on to our number fours.
With the fourth pick.
Number 4. Round 4.
I'm in no mood for your wives' crack. Let's get it on.
All right. DeBono, hit me with your. Sorry about that. Hit me with your number 4. What do you got for your number 4?
My number 4 is the one sweet entrant onto my list, and this may be this is really the super southern in me coming out. And I know that a lot of people think pumpkin pie when they do Thanksgiving, but for me, it's sweet potato pie.
Quick question: is that the same as sweet potato casserole?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Sweet potato pie is a dessert. Sweet potato casserole is a side.
I said that.
So,
I like the way you said it. It was like, sweet potato pie is your side bitch, and sweet potato casserole is the wife. So what you need, the way you said it, you were like, that's your side bitch right here. You need that as your side bitch.
That's the one you buy the house for. That one's the one you buy the apartment for.
Now, it's for me. Like when I was growing up, there was pumpkin pie all the time, and that was fine. But when I was in high school, my mom had just gotten tired of pumpkin pie, and she started doing sweet potato pies, and it was life-changing. It's just this perfectly sweet dessert that's not too ridiculously sweet. It's heavy and filling enough that one piece with some Cool Whip or whatever really does it. And like after I eat that big meal, I'm not a big gotta have a dessert kind of guy. But when it comes to Thanksgiving, like that's what I think about. I think about that sweet potato pie, and it's actually a dessert that I'm like, okay, I want some more, and I'm going to keep eating until I almost vomit. But I need to make sure there's like that much room left for a slice of sweet potato pie. It's like I know it's super good old boy Southern dessert to be sweet potato pie. I like them just about any way you can get them. I've had great homemade ones. There are actually some really good frozen ones. Patti LaBelle now sells.
I was gonna say, isn't Patti LaBelle's and they sell out fast?
Yeah,
boy.
She like freezes them and like mails them out now.
Yeah,
all over the U.S.
And maybe like Walmart or something.
I don't think she does it. I'm pretty sure she's got people that do that for her.
Yeah.
Well, I think she started doing it. I think she started doing it, and then Walmart got a hold of it because they sell them at Walmart, and they sell out.
I believe that Patty's Pie started as she made them with her people, and then eventually it was like, all right, we need a production line, and Walmart picked them up.
Well, but Patty's Pie started in college, but then it evolved into food.
Oh, Patty. But anyway, like I said, it's the one dessert I'm gonna have. I just absolutely love it. I look forward to it every year. I think it is far superior to pumpkin pie. Sorry if anybody's got that on their list and I'm ruining it right now. But it's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite dessert. And it's very closely tied to Thanksgiving for me. So number 4 is sweet potato pie.
I have a question.
Yes.
Because when you say sweet potato pie, knowing sweet potato, and I'll say it ahead of time, I have sweet potato casserole as an honorable mention on my list. But I think of it like a shepherd's pie. Because when I think of sweet potato, I think of it as like a side. But you're saying it's a dessert.
And consistency-wise, it's very similar to a pumpkin pie. Honestly, if you're just looking at two pies side by side and somebody says one of these is pumpkin and one of these is sweet potato, they can be very hard to tell apart just by looking at them.
Okay.
They look almost exactly the same, just a crust with like a orangish brown filling.
Okay.
I just think that the sweet potato pie is better.
Okay.
You should never judge a pie by its vegetable.
I think that's the only way to judge a pie is based upon what the ingredients are. I think that's based upon what the ingredients are. That's what it's gonna taste like. I think you should go with that. Dave, what is your number 4, Dave?
Sometimes you miss, and my number 4 is sweet potato casserole.
Oh, that's tabled.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, it's on the table.
Hey.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
We'll make that joke all night. Hang around, folks.
Yeah.
Potato casserole. All right.
You could have just rolled like SPC and like you know what it's gonna be.
No,
he wouldn't have. He'd forgotten.
Sweet potato casserole. Jeff, what do you got?
So my number 4, it's my go-to, my favorite version of this type of food, and my number 4 is cornbread.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
My cornbread.
Cornbread. My number 4 is mac and cheese.
Table.
Jeez. This episode is going to be 27 minutes long.
Mountain.
This episode is going to be 27 minutes long. I swear to God.
And it's going to be us jerking off about mac and cheese.
There's 3 potatoes. There's going to be 3 potato dishes and mac and cheese. And I swear to God.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. If we could just rewind. Sorry, Jeff. I tabled yours, and I did not meet you. I don't have just cornbread. I'm sorry. You said just cornbread.
Yeah, I just put cornbread.
Do you have cornbread casserole?
No, I have the same shit. No, I have, but what I have something with cornbread as an ingredient. But it's not just cornbread. So go ahead and talk about cornbread.
I like the fact that he's like, I like the fact that the bonus like, I have cornbread pie. I don't have cornbread, but I have cornbread pie. Is that the same?
It's not a side.
It's not a side. It's dessert.
It's the main bitch. And in the side bitch, it's the main bitch.
Yellow. I like it more than lemon pie because it's both yellow. So cornbread. Aside from Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits, this is probably my second favorite bread. Corn. Corn by itself is plain, boring, whatever. But when you get cornbread and you get that just you take that first bite of warm cornbread and you've got that crisp to it, and it's got that hint of sweetness in it. No.
Go ahead. I'll get there. Sorry.
I'm offended. I'm terrified now.
That was just.
Yeah. I just think with everything else that I have, it kind of complements that, and there's just something warm and inviting of taking a bite into a good piece of cornbread. And I absolutely, that's the first thing I go for. I grab the piece that's slightly burnt because I love that extra little crisp to it. And I make sure that's the first thing I grab. And I'll probably grab 2 at least of that. And it's just something so inviting. And so when I think of Thanksgiving, I think of it more of that kind of comfort food. And that's one of those comfort foods for me is that cornbread. So that's why I put it on my number 4. It's not as much as the other ones that I got, but yeah, that's why I put cornbread.
See, just cornbread I don't have on this particular list because being here in the South, cornbread that's an everyday side. Like that's something any restaurant you go to, they're gonna have cornbread. But the reason I winced is because here in Alabama and all over the South, there is just short of a civil war between people who like sweet cornbread and not sweet cornbread.
Okay.
And I'm not a sweet cornbread guy. Like I like a cornbread that when you bite it, it just sucks all the moisture out of your mouth, just a dry, just this. And then and I agree with you though. I like the part that's a little dark brown on the bottom. I'll try to find a good, little bit burnt one. But like cornbread to me is just kind of it's an all the time side. Smash it up in some pinto beans. Do you ever do we call it Mexican cornbread where it's got jalapenos in it?
Oh no, but I'm going to this year.
Yeah, man. Like the only difference, like you just get like a jar of jalapenos, drain the juice, and just like mix them in with when you've got the batter and bake it. You can leave them rings. You can dice them up. Then you get a spicy cornbread. Oh
Ooh.
Yeah.
The bonus, like, I like going to the beach and just getting a handful of dirt and just putting it in my mouth. And then just suck up all the moisture that I don't want any moisture in my mouth. I want my mouth to be super dry and I want to be my lips to look like I just did crack for 10 years. I want to be able to just...
When I bite a piece of cornbread, it should look like eating a Nature Valley granola bar, right? It should be everywhere. Like I bite cornbread and it just disintegrates.
When you were describing that, I was thinking of that old YouTube video of the girl giving the dry blowjob. But I was like, I'm going to make this so dry for you. Isn't
it Ellie Kemper?
Yes, from the Brickle Schmidt.
I just whenever I eat cornbread, I want to look like Alec Baldwin in Beetlejuice when he got resurrected back from the dead. When he just and his teeth fell out and just super dry. That's what I want to look like when I eat cornbread, just super dry. Here's the thing: I love cornbread. I don't eat it ever. Like it's so rare that I ever eat it. It's one of those things where when I do find it, I'm like, oh, like I haven't been to a Boston market in fucking over a decade, dude. I don't remember the last time I went to a Boston market. And I love cornbread. When I have it, I just never have it. I have cornbread casserole, which is one of my honorable mentions that my wife makes, and my wife's mother makes, my mother-in-law, and it's fucking phenomenal. But it's not the same as cornbread. I've had 1,000 cornbreads, but in my life, but I don't have it often, man, and I love it. I don't have it often. I think I invite the wrong people over for Thanksgiving. All right, but yeah, cornbread, cool. Mine was mac and cheese, which got tabled. So the number 4s were sweet potato pie, sweet potato casserole, cornbread, and mac and cheese.
Round 3.
3 is a magic number. Yes, it is.
All right, DeBono, what do you got for your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be one that may get tabled, may not. I'm going to get a little specific here. We can argue about it if we want, but it's smoked turkey. I know that maybe just turkey's on people's list. I really do look forward to turkey. My particular favorite is smoked. I could just call it turkey if that's going to be a thing where it needs to get tabled. If not, all right, cool. So I really love turkey. I know I've met so many people who say that turkey's overrated, and that's one of the reasons that Thanksgiving is not a big deal. But I have recently learned to love turkey even more because I've gotten very good at making turkeys. And the multiple day process that goes into the making of a good turkey, I absolutely love. I love getting it thawed a week before, or 5-6 days before, so I can put like a 3-4 day dry brine on it. I like how if it's cooked perfectly, then you can get the pieces that are just moist all the way through. I like that you can take it off and you can use the pieces for food for weeks afterwards. I love eating it that day. I always go back and get more. I always start with a drumstick. I'm a drumstick guy. Always start with the turkey drumstick. I eventually go back, kind of sample from all over the turkey, try to figure out where I did well, where I might have messed up. But I'm like the dad from A Christmas Story. Like a good, well-cooked turkey really brings like everything together for me on that holiday. I love it, and it's intrinsically tied to what makes Thanksgiving. And I know that it's the stereotypical and it's the go-to, but man, when done well, especially if it's smoked. I've had deep fried turkey, also like deep fried a lot, but when done well, a smoked turkey or just a really well roasted turkey, that is my jam. I love turkey on Thanksgiving so much that we do that late lunch for Thanksgiving, or right around lunchtime, we do the big meal. I always for dinner that night have huge turkey sandwiches, because that's what I go back to for my second meal on Thanksgiving. Is turkey. And so yeah, number 3, turkey, man.
Yeah, turkey sucks. It's such a it's done. Look, I will say this, and this is not me. He doesn't even hear this. But my father-in-law makes really good turkey. He was in the Boy Scout for like 1,000 years, right? Like he brought his son up, my brother-in-law, up through Eagle Scouts and the whole nine. So they do that thing where they cook the turkey inside a metal garbage can. It's obviously a new and clean garbage can for those listeners, but they cook it and it's upside down. It's this whole thing, and they put charcoal on the thing. So he does it every year, and I will say that is the best turkey that I've ever had. With that said, I would say that in generalizing the meat, the turkey is the shittiest fucking turkey. It's just I don't fucking care for it. I eat 1,000 pounds of it because I'm always trying to lose weight and I'm always trying to eat healthier, so I'm always opting for it instead of whatever the fuck. So even if I splurge and be like, oh, I want to get bologna to make bologna sandwiches, it's turkey bologna. But it's just fucking, I just don't like turkey. I don't care for it. I think it's I don't know. I wish, like, Hispanic households, do you guys, Jeff, David, do you guys eat turkey on a regular, like, is that the thing that you guys eat Thanksgiving, or is it something else? The main
The
dish.
only regular turkey that we eat is Boar's Head Deli maple turkey. Deli turkey. But the only time I really eat turkey, and even then it's hit or miss. Like, I mean, my cousin, she hosts Thanksgiving. She's been hosting it more often for the last few years, and I do Noche Buena here. And she does the turkey, but I don't usually even go for the turkey.
Yeah.
One, because I'm eating the deli, but two, within my honorable mention, as Devona mentioned it, is deep fried turkey. That's been the favorite incarnation of turkey that I've had so far. Is I've had a really good deep fried turkey, but it's not on my mountain because it's not my go-to. I have another go-to that's on my mountain that I will discuss later. But
I've
yeah,
never had deep fried turkey, but it's deep fried, so I'm assuming I'm gonna like it better than fucking non-deep fried, right? Like, it's a thing.
But you just gotta make sure somebody does it right, because you don't want them to fry it too much, because then it gets a little too overcooked.
There's two problems. You can undercook and you can overcook, and either thing is bad. When
you guys did it.
And actually you didn't have it right, because the burner was dead. So we had to do it actually on a gas grill and put the deep fryer on top of the gas grill. It was such a pain in the ass, and it did not come out right. But that was always when I ate meat, that was my favorite thing to do, was to deep fry the turkey. And so I came up with like a very like my own injection that I would put inside the turkey.
Ooh.
And so I would inject all of the flavor all over the turkey. So we would start out with a turkey that was maybe this size, and that son of a bitch would blow up to a size. By the time you were done with it, it was just oozing all this stuff.
To the listener, you couldn't understand what Dave was saying because he was miming shit with his hands. So go check out our YouTube channel, and on our YouTube channel, you can watch the video and see what he was gesturing. So just go ahead.
That turkey went from a C cup to a double D.
Hey.
So to give an auditory.
Your turkey turned into a whore? That's weird.
So deep fried turkey was always my favorite way to have it. So
yeah, no, man, like I said, I just it's what I look forward to, and like I said, now that I cook them myself, and I've been perfecting and working on it for a couple years. When we got the house that we live in now, we started hosting Thanksgiving, and that's been my thing is I make the turkey, and yeah, now I love it.
All right, so smoked turkey. David, what do you got for your number 3?
My number 3 is mac and cheese.
That's also my number 3.
Oh.
Okay, so I think we can talk about this now.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
So mac and cheese is not necessarily something that is germane to Thanksgiving, but it is something that I don't have all the time, and I definitely always have on Thanksgiving. So I got into the habit of having mac and cheese on Thanksgiving when I met my wife, Stephanie. She makes an absolutely incredible mac and cheese. And to me now, they're like I can't think about Thanksgiving without thinking mac and cheese. It's just it's that a part of it, and I know that it's not traditional in the you're going to have turkey and corn and cornbread sense, but to me it's a part of the tradition now, and seeing her make it and smelling it being made throughout the day is it's really painful. It's painful because you got to
do a crunchy layer on top.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's
she make 10
different kinds of cheese.
Doesn't she make 2 of them because you can't eat the bacon that she puts on the other one?
She does make 2. She is.
Let me rephrase that. You refuse to eat the bacon. Not that you can't, because you fucking can, but you refuse to eat the bacon that she puts on it.
She's a beautiful, beautiful person, and she makes one without bacon for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, mac and cheese is my number 3. I do eat this a lot, but there's some to me one of the most Americana foods you can have is mac and cheese. Like, and
It's actually Italian.
Stephanie's
Jeff.
is amazing.
It's actually Italian.
Huh?
It's actually Italian. It's mac and cheese. It's macaroni.
It's from the Kraft region of Sicily.
You know, the small town of Belvita. The Kraft region.
If it's not from the Kraft region of Italy, it's just noodles and dairy.
I can just smell it now. The powdered cheese fields of Sicily.
Listen, let me tell you something. If the mac and cheese that's on your list is powdered cheese, get the fuck out of here with your list. Your list ain't shit. Yeah, of course I know, man.
I'm joking around, but
your cheese has to come in a pouch that you got to cut. That's the pouch.
Yeah.
You got to cut it and then squeeze.
Was I the only one that would like eat the powder? And like my grandmother would like hit my hand. Okay, I used to eat the powder.
Yeah, that's nasty.
It's delicious. It's the same flavor as the mac and cheese. But anyway, what I love about mac and cheese is that it's so versatile because you could just have it plain like the heathen that just spoke about it, or you can have it with bacon. You can have it with meat.
By definition, it is not plain. It is cheese flavored. It is not plain.
But I mean, what I love about it is like you could just mix and match. You could put some jalapenos in it. You could put a little cayenne pepper on top if you want, and just eat it like that. Like what I love about mac and cheese is that you could every year you could just try something different. You could still have the mac and cheese, but you can add one thing. You don't even have to add too many things. Just one thing changes mac and cheese completely. You know, and I love eating it. I always have to go for it. That's the other one I always have to go for. If I see it there, and I'll get like 2 scoops, and I don't care if the kids don't get any. I'm eating it. I put in my years sitting at the kids' table. Now it's their turn. So, you know, but I can't. I agree with you, Dave. And Steph's mac and cheese is delicious. The
It's all right.
Wow. And I mean, I couldn't. That 3 through 1 were the automatic ones that just popped in my head that were on my list. And mac and cheese is just I know it's not a traditional one like Dave said, but it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, mac and cheese is my number 4, and for all those reasons, it's I have it often. I'm not trying to brag, but I am a culinary connoisseur, so I do have mac and cheese often. But I don't know, even like just it's really hard to make bad mac and cheese. I don't know if I've ever had. Yeah, I mean, I guess I have, but it's even if it's bad, like, you know, it's like sex, like even bad sex.
Like even if it comes out bland, it's still good.
I still have mac and cheese. You know what I mean? Like it's. But I love mac and cheese, man. I've had really good mac and cheese, and I enjoy. I'm not as adventurous as Jeff is. Like I don't like spicy foods, and I don't even like saying that. My palate cannot. I'm a pussy, and I can't take the spicy food. It's not that I don't like it, because I do enjoy it for those 2 seconds before the alarm hits and go, oh my god, I'm dying. But so I can't add any spicy things to my foods. Not that I can't, I just choose not to because I'm a pussy. But mac and cheese, I mean, the most I've ever added is either bacon or chicken. Or bacon and chicken, because I'm not trying to brag, but I am fat. But yeah, it's a delicious. That's why I had it as my number 4. It's great. It's fucking great. I don't see it as a Thanksgiving Day food, but again, we've talked about this already. I don't care about Thanksgiving, so it's a delicious food that I get to enjoy. Also happens to be Thanksgiving on that day, so why not?
If mac and cheese didn't make my list, because while we usually do have mac and cheese on Thanksgiving, in my heart, it's more closely associated with being a cookout food. Like that's a summer cookout food for me. Like if we were doing that list, then I would have mac and chease on there.
Ironically,
that's what I associate mac and cheese with.
Ironically, the first Thanksgiving was a cookout, so that's weird that you didn't associate.
I don't celebrate the first Thanksgiving. I celebrate my Thanksgiving.
Yeah. My motherfucking Thanksgiving. Yeah, mac and cheese, man. So that was my number 4. That was you guys' number 3. So this is where it gets tough. I'm gonna go ahead and say, my number 3 is sweet potato casserole.
That was my number 4.
Yes. So sweet potato casserole. And these are in no way would I sully the entry of my mountain by trying to kiss up to anybody. It happens to be that my numbers 4, 3, and 2 are all made excellently by my wife. But sweet potato casserole I had never had until my wife made it for the first time like 10 years ago. And it's been a staple of our Thanksgiving ever since. So, like for the last 10 years, she makes sweet potato casserole, and it's fucking amazing. And then sometimes
you don't have to worry about it. You're not kissing ass because you didn't make it number 1.
And she's not gonna listen. So who gives a fuck, really? I mean, she thinks she listens to this shit. 5 years of
listen, be like, I want this motherfucker better say my food was.
Oh, she knows exactly what my number 1 is. She knows exactly what my number 1 is, and she fucking hates it. But she hates that it's my number 1, and she hates that it would also be her number 1 if she was making this list. With that said, I would say that sweet potato casserole is fucking amazing. Her sweet potato casserole is great. She does this thing where it's half of it she puts roasted pecans on top, and then half of it not, for whoever. And I literally like the middle ground. I just ride the fence and just cut into the middle of it so I could just get fucking some of it with pecans and some of it without pecans on top. It's fucking great. I love it. I enjoy it. So sweet potato
marshmallows on top.
I was gonna say,
that's what she does. That's what she does. That's what she does. She does half of it. I'm sorry, half of it pecans and then half of it marshmallows. Is what she does on the top. So she, yeah.
You can put those things together.
That's how I make mine. Except I do walnuts, not pecans.
I don't know if you.
Oh, even better.
I don't know if you heard me. I go down the fucking middle and I get both of them. I don't know if you fucking saw. Did you see my hand movement? Do this shit where I'm like literally shoveling the middle down the fucking. Yeah, that's what I do. I get both of them. So it's delicious. It's fantastic. So that's it. Sweet potato casserole. And I had never had it. I had never had sweet potato casserole. She had never made it till 10 years ago. Maybe maybe like 11 years ago, something like that. When it's got to be like 11 years ago when we first moved in together.
Whoa. Get your dates right, sir.
I did. 11 years ago when we first moved in together.
Is it 10 or 11?
I just said 11 years ago when we first moved in together. I just said that.
I'd like a recount on how many years ago it was.
Stop counting. Stop the count. No, recount. Stop the count. Fucking douchebag. Either way, sweet potato casserole wins a place in my heart. So that is number 3. Number 3s we have smoked turkey, mac and cheese, and sweet potato casserole. So
that's okay. I won't talk about it. It's cool.
That's right. Dave had it as number 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to talk about it?
Oh, wow.
It's fine. Let's go.
No. You go. Talk about sweet potato casserole.
Round 2.
Talk about sweet potato casserole, fucker. Talk about it.
Good. I just wanted to give you a hard time. you said everything.
Oh, yeah. Great. It's
Sweet potato, check. Brown sugar, check. Almonds, check. Or pecans, check. You got marshmallows, check. What the fuck else do you want? That shit's all delicious.
Yeah.
My sweet potato casserole recipe is a modified version of Paula Deen's, where I managed to subtract the racism and add walnut. And
flavor?
I don't know. Hers maybe better. I don't.
Hey guys, say what you will, but racism was fucking delicious. Am I right? I mean, you go to right? You go to fucking I know it's racism is bad. Hear me out though. Chick-fil-A. It's amazing food, right? It's amazing chicken. Chick-fil-A. Yes, it's fucking, they hate gay people, but that chicken, bro, let me tell you. You know, there's that one fucking dude that really talks like that. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick or nothing, but fucking, I mean, it's not the food's fault that part of these racist. It's just.
They did that joke in Clerks 2, where it's the whole thing of, for life and all that stuff, and then they're having a conversation. Wanda Sykes, right? He's like, "Oh, did he just call me?
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm taking it back.
He's like, baby, you can't taste racism. He grabs the bag and throws him on the floor.
I have a friend who's a black comedian, and he says he says how awful racism is. He goes, but if the Klan was having a cookout and they had some mac and cheese, he'd probably go check it out. Like, let me just go check it out. Let's go see. Let's go see. I mean, it's not the fucking food's fault. Let's just go check it out. Let's go see what happened. Shout out to
Can I interject before we? Oh,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, before we get to number 2, and so this just popped up on my feed. Ironically, we're doing this podcast. There is apparently a creation that is out there that you can order for $100.
It's called the Pie Cakin'.
The Pie Cakin'. Holy shit!
I know the Pie Cakin', brother.
Pecan pie on the bottom, pumpkin pie in the middle, and spice cake on top, all layered together with cinnamon buttercream and topped with apple pie filling. Oh my god!
Yeah,
it's called a Pie Cakin'.
Did I send it to you guys on Instagram not too long ago? I know I sent it to a couple of people on Instagram. I usually send it to fat people, so Missy got it. I got it. Like it was a bunch.
I've gotten that exact same ad on my Instagram and sent it to my wife.
Yeah, I sent it to.
Your NSA agent is working overtime, dude.
Yeah.
No, seriously, yeah.
You guys never watched Drop Dead Diva? And I don't know why you would, but it's a fantastic show. Anyways, her in the show, she her friend invents the half cake, half pie thing. Like this show fucking got off the air like 10 years ago, but it was a brilliant idea, and I was like, and Christy saw the show. I know Christy saw it.
Yeah. Christy. That's the one where they do musicals and stuff in between, right?
Like for like 3 or 4 episodes. It wasn't like every. Okay. It wasn't every episode. It wasn't,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. Anyways, the whole thing, the whole pie and cake thing. I remember me and her talked about this. Like 2 people with a problem do. We were like, this food is delicious. It sounds amazing, man. All right, so again, to go over it again, smoked turkey, mac and cheese, sweet potato pie, sweet potato casserole. Sorry.
Round 2.
Dose, the sequel to Uno.
All right.
I just told my mother-in-law, I'm like, hey, we'll say hi to YouTube. He's like, I'm out of here.
Who knew that's all it took? Who knew that's all it took? Jeff is gonna start saying that even on regular phone calls. He's like, YouTube, say hi to YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. I'm on here. DeBono, what do you got for your number 2, man?
My number 2 is one, and I'm torn about leaving it here, but it is essential to my entire Thanksgiving meal. And while I occasionally use it not on Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is what I associate it with the most. And my number 2 is gravy.
Okay.
What?
Gravy.
Okay.
Without the mashed potatoes,
just gravy, brother. Because here's why.
You pour it on the turkey.
Because I put it on everything. Thanksgiving is the one meal a year where I put great, like I make my plate and then I go to the gravy and I just ladle it.
Quick question.
The plate.
2 questions. One, what color is your gravy?
Brown gravy for Thanksgiving. White gravy is a breakfast thing.
Oh,
I'll take you to another bonus. So I got introduced my wife's uncle, his wife. She's a Southern girl. She made a chocolate gravy. Yep. Oh my god. Yeah.
Chocolate gravy. It's a big thing in North Alabama here. Chocolate gravy.
She's from North Alabama. So
there we go. Yeah, chocolate gravy is very much a North Alabama thing.
It's so good.
Was there another question, Ari, about gravy?
Yeah. It is. Do you put it over your mac and cheese?
I'll get some on my mac and cheese. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like It's essential to the Thanksgiving flavor being in everything. That is where getting a little gravy on the mac and cheese is what crosses it over into the Thanksgiving territory to me from the summer cookout territory. I like gravy on my turkey, a little bit on my ham, on any sort of casserole that may be on my plate. The one thing I'll keep gravy off of is like a sweet potato casserole. Don't like to mix the salty and sweet too much. But other than that, I'll put a little bit of gravy on everything. I love sometimes use the gravy from the jar, like the Heinz turkey gravy, not bad. But like a good homemade brown gravy that you make with drippings from the turkey and some flour, and you just let it cook up slowly. Man, just a little bit of that. Dip your cornbread in it. It just everything on the plate.
No, if you dip your cornbread in it, it's no longer dry ass cornbread, and you refuse to eat cornbread that doesn't make your mouth dry as fuck.
That's why the cornbread's got to be that dry. That way, when you get the gravy on it, it perfectly absorbs the gravy. Then the cornbread just becomes a vessel for eating gravy, and it makes gravy an edible food. Instead of just a condiment.
It's a vehicle. It's a delivery system for the gravy.
Exactly. That's why cornbread has to be so dry, brother. But I like on the ham, the turkey, the mac and cheese. I mean, just everything on the plate.
It's a condiment,
bit of
though.
gravy.
It's a condiment. You're putting a condiment on the list. It's a condiment. It's the equivalent of me being like ketchup. Fucking ketchup. I mean, it's just ketchup may be great, but it's not a food. It's a condiment.
All right. Well, then here I was ready for this, so I'll boot it because you're right. It's I will boot it because I know it's a condiment. It's just essential to my Thanksgiving meal. And here I will just go ahead and do this. My sub backup number 2 is cranberry sauce.
Oh, tabled.
Okay. So there we go. Write down cranberry sauce, and everybody just know how much I love gravy.
I like the fact that I was like, it was like a question. Isn't it a condiment? And you're like, oh, good. Let's get that out of the way. Let's talk about fucking cranberry sauce.
Let's do this now.
I was ready for it to get booted for not actually being a food.
Planned that.
I think you were hoping. I think you were hoping that it got fucking booted. You were like, somebody said something.
That's the way he could put something else in. He was like, no gravy.
I knew the exact argument somebody would make, and I was ready for it. And you're right; it's not a food, but it is one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving. So anyway, cranberry sauce at its tables now.
David, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is, and I have almost all sweet. The only savory food I had here was the mac and cheese. My number 2 is pumpkin pie. And I have never had sweet potato pie, so I don't know how this stacks up to sweet potato pie. My mind may be of a different way should I have had that, but to me, pumpkin pie is one of those things that I only ever have in the fall, and usually I'll try to hold off until Thanksgiving. Just to make it that much more special. I'll put just as much whipped cream as I possibly can on it. I'll like drown it in whipped cream. And
you don't like pumpkin pie. You just like whipped cream with a delivery system being pumpkin pie. You're not really like, you're like, this is the argument that people make when we're like, celery's delicious when you dip it in blue cheese. I'm like, and then you dip my dick in blue cheese. It's delicious. You can't fucking just say like you like the sauce is what you like the whipped cream is what I'm trying to say. All right, cool.
This plate tastes like a pumpkin.
You can like both things though.
Yeah, but you're drenching it in one thing. It counts as you're just saying for that. Just put whipped cream.
That's absurd. That's absurd.
Whipped cream.
Nero, you're the worst fat guy.
No, I'm not.
That's like the worst fucking argument.
Sir, his body begs to differ.
Yeah. my body of work speaks for itself, sir. My body of work speaks for itself. Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I weigh the exact same amount as the fattest U.S. president in history. So I'm not trying to fucking brag here. But, yeah.
So whipped cream on the pumpkin pie. Do you go homemade, ready whip from the spray can, or Cool Whip?
It doesn't seem like it matters to him.
honestly never had homemade whipped cream. So I will usually
a little heavier.
So I usually go the Ready Whip stuff.
The can, like the Ready Whip from the spray can. No, the Cool Whip.
The Cool Whip. Yes.
The Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Yes. But just as well, there are times when I get to the pumpkin pie once all of the Cool Whip is out. And I got to have it without it. And I'll tell you, it's just as good.
Because you ate the whole fucking container in the first 2 slices. That's why there's no more Cool Whip.
Someone else did.
The inside of your mouth and your esophagus has Cool Whip all over it. So it's still...
Listen, when someone else has gotten to it before I have, and there is no more Cool Whip, I will eat it sans Cool Whip.
I'm putting here pumpkin pie / Cool Whip. That's your pick.
Jeff, what's your number 2?
My number...
The smell of cooking a pumpkin pie, though, now that's a Thanksgiving memory. Just the smell of a pumpkin pie cooking in the house.
Wait, do you make your pumpkin pie from scratch, David?
I don't make shit, but I eat pumpkin pie from scratch.
I don't make shit. I don't do a fucking goddamn thing. All right, Jeff, what's your number 2?
So my number 2, this is where I was talking about how like I don't go for the turkey every time, and I'm saying this specific name, but just so you have an idea of the flavor profile that I'm going for. And my number 2 is honey baked ham.
As soon as you said specific name, I was like, this motherfucker's going to say honey baked ham.
Yeah, I'm saying honey baked ham just because of the profile. My mother-in-law does she makes one herself with the brown sugar and all the sweetness and everything like that. But the honey baked ham, we always next week we're putting in an order for honey baked. We already put in an order for honey baked ham. That's what we're eating. We're not making turkey this year. We're doing honey baked ham. I will pile on honey baked ham on my plate.
As you fucking should, sir. As you fucking should. It is delicious. It's never dry. You never have to worry about it fucking causing a fucking problem in your esophagus because all the moisture is sucked out by turkey. No, fucking good. Good for you. Have that fucking honey baked ham.
What I'll do is I'll get the slice and then I'll get all that sauce that's at the bottom. I'll just rub my slice in the sauce and then put it on my plate just so it gets that extra coating of all that good, sweet deliciousness that's in there.
Man. Seeing that gold wrapper.
That's like Christmas morning.
Yes, sir. It really is.
Jeff, I'm emailing you. I'm emailing you your Fat Boy card. I'm gonna go ahead and email you that. You have been certified, sir. You have been certified. Go ahead.
Yeah. Dude, love honey baked ham. That's one. Growing up, we did honey baked ham. We did turkey for Thanksgiving and honey baked ham for Christmas. But yeah, so I cannot even begin to fault the pick because I love a good honey baked ham, man.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh yeah.
And then just like you were saying, you could have it you could have it for a week after.
Oh
Make
yeah,
ham sandwiches and you throw some cheese on there. Oh my God,
toss some of it in the skillet the next morning with some scrambled eggs. Forget about it.
Forget it. Oh man, yeah. You do pork like 5 ways. You get bacon in there. You get it for breakfast too. Oh,
yes, sir.
I know I've brought this up on the podcast before, but every time you start going off on how great pork is and all the different variations of pork, I think about that episode from The Simpsons where Lisa decides to be a vegetarian. And he's like, no more pork chops. And she like thinks about the pig and like the parts of the pork chop comes out of it. And she's like, no. And he's like, no more bacon. And then he goes like rattles off like 5 other things that are all pork. And she's like, Dad, that's the same animal. And he goes, oh, right. Like there's one magical animal that gives us all this delicious food. And that's what he sounded like right now. You just started naming all the delicious food that you get off that one fucking ham.
You get some pork belly.
Oh, it's so good. Pork belly is delicious, dude.
Yeah, so my number 2 is honey baked ham or sweet ham, I guess.
Sweet ham. Yeah, now
sweet spiral ham.
Yeah. What's funny is when I started doing holiday meals with my wife's family, like when I started doing ham, I was like trying to find all these ways to make like a good sweet ham myself. But they all like ham, but they don't want it to be sweet. Like they don't want like the honey. They want like a saltier ham more so than a sweet one. But
Like
yeah,
a ham
no.
steak?
But like you cook the whole thing like in a way to where you don't use any sweet stuff in like the marinade. You just kind of rub it down and then let it cook and flip it, stuff like that.
I see Daniel go.
Just open a can of Spam and like, here, fucking take that shit.
I see Daniel going to his in-laws' house with that gold wrapper from Honey Baked Ham, and he's like, "Hold on, just give me that piece right here. I'll make my own," and he just fucking puts the juices from the.
Oh yeah.
All right, so sweet ham, sweet spiral ham, sweet baked ham.
Or honey baked ham, I guess is probably the
Yeah. All right. That's it. That's a good number 2. My number 2 is another one of my wife's delicious creations, or not creations because she didn't create it, but makings, and it's pecan pie. I never had pecan pie growing up. The first time I tasted pecan pie, I was like college age. I was probably around 20, 21, 22. And I had it at Boston Market, and one of my best friends, she was like, "Oh, you have pecan pie." I'm like, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of tasting new foods. And she was like, "You should try pecan pie." And then I did, and I was like, "Holy shit." And it's one of my favorite pies. It's not my favorite pie of all time, but for Thanksgiving, this is one of the things I look forward to my wife cooking is sweet potato casserole, and pecan pie her shit is fucking unbeatable. And so I love and enjoy the pecan pie. So that is my number 2 is pecan.
It's funny for me to hear you say it that way solely in the way that you're pronouncing it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it incorrectly or not.
No. It's I don't know that it's correct. It's just regional. Yeah, it's just regional. But like I say, pecan pie.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's
so that's absolutely incorrect.
He's not sure what the right way is, but he knows.
But he knows that's the wrong.
No, there's no wrong way except the one you said.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm saying it wrong, and then you said yours. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's it. Pecan pie. How do you say it? How do you pronounce it? Pecan. So you say pecan pie?
Pecan pie, pecans, like you eat pecans, like candied pecans.
I don't know. Like I was literally just eating pecans. I was literally just eating pecans from a bag right now, like roasted pecan.
Pecans from a bag.
All right. So pecan pie is my number 2. Let's go to honorable mentions. I should probably make a sound effect for honorable mentions.
Honorable mention.
You didn't make the original. You didn't make the mountain by this much. By this much. All right. So, what is your honorable mentions, fellas?
You get to get smart. Mr. Pie, that much.
Mm-hmm.
You get that voice. There you go.
Most of my honorable mentions have been said. I guess gravy goes into this one now. And broccoli cheese casserole is one that I like a lot. My aunt brings a broccoli. I don't know if she makes it or she buys it somewhere every year, but she brings this incredible broccoli cheese casserole. If you've never had it, it's literally just broccoli, cheese, and rice. But it's remarkable and delicious. And then sweet potato casserole. Those were my 2 honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I put various bread rolls. Take your pick. I'll take them all. I really love apple pie. The only reason apple pie didn't make the cut over pumpkin pie is because I have apple pie whenever I can versus pumpkin pie that I think is a little more seasonal. Corn, anyway, I'll fucking take it. I absolutely love corn. It is the candy of vegetables. And mashed potatoes. These days, without the gravy, back in the day with the gravy, any mashed potato, any potato, just potatoes anyway. But
those are just some Mount Rushmore of foods. Potatoes.
It's pronounced potato.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
There you go.
I like a good loaded mashed potato. Got some chives, some bacon bits, a little bit of cheese in there.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question? Does chives taste like anything? Is it just
it's an onion?
Yeah. Does it taste like something? Onion. It tastes like
yeah.
I don't think I put enough chives.
Tastes like chives.
I don't think I put enough chives in my shit to be like, oh, this tastes different than without the chives.
Now, and like, are you using like fresh cut chives?
Whatever Wendy's gave me. I don't know what the fuck this is.
Like a lot of times when you get them like from Wendy's and stuff, they're like the dried ones, like you would get on like the seasoning aisle, and they're not as flavorful unless you cook them into something and they rehydrate. But if you're using a fresh cut chive, where there's still some moisture to it, that's where the flavor is.
Mm-hmm. I always wonder like that. I'm like chives and what's the other one? The little
parsley.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, maybe I'm just not eating enough of it to make a difference because I'm like, I really don't feel like it's a garnish.
They're both the exact same. If you're using parsley, if you're using dried parsley from the spice aisle, it will add flavor if it's slow cooked into something because it has time to release and rehydrate. But if you're just sprinkling it onto something, you're not going to get a lot of flavor unless you are fresh cutting your own parsley.
All right. Jeff, what do you got for your honorable mentions?
I got stuffing. I got sweet potato casserole. And I got deep fried turkey.
All right. My honorable mentions are apple pie, which are my favorite pie of all time is apple pie. And
it was number one on your baked goods mountain, even, right?
I believe so. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, so. I love apple pie. It's just not really. I don't really have it much for Thanksgiving, but I'll take it if they bring it over for Thanksgiving. I will fucking take that. And what else was there? And cornbread casserole, which my wife also makes, and it is fucking delicious. Cornbread casserole. My mother-in-law, I'm sorry, not my wife, my mother-in-law. All right, so, number one.
Round one.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back.
Do it! Do it! Come on! Come on!
All right, what is your number one, Debona?
My number one actually may end up being. I'm wondering. There's something that you said in your honorable mentions that I've never heard of by that name, and I'm wondering if it's the same thing as what my number one is. My number one is cornbread dressing, which I'm wondering if it might be the same thing as cornbread casserole.
I've never heard of cornbread dressing.
Okay, so dressing is again, it's a very southern thing. It's similar to stuffing. It's basically the same type of thing as stuffing, but you don't actually stuff it into the turkey and cook it. You cook it in a pan, but it's cornbread and it's celery and it's vegetables. Usually put a little bit of turkey actually in it. Does that sound like your cornbread casserole, Neri?
I'm looking up what cornbread dressing is.
And he actually just described it to you, though.
No, but I'm looking at pictures. I'm a visual learner, David. I'm a visual learner. Okay. Sometimes people learn better with them eyes, man.
But I love dressing, and it's one of those things that honestly I would probably eat at times other than Thanksgiving if it was something that was available at a time other than Thanksgiving. And I feel like I said, a lot of the times I think that stuffing and dressing are kind of interchangeable. Mm-hmm. And what you're thinking of, if you're thinking of like stuffing at Thanksgiving, I think it's going to be very similar to what I'm talking about as dressing.
I'm looking at it, and it looks just like the type of stuffing that we make in a pan.
Yeah,
at least at my house, but it's cornbread.
So right, exactly, but cornbread stuffing is just the base of it. Is you make a cornbread or two depending on how much you're making, and you let it sit out, and then you crumble it up. And you mix it with other things, like I said, some celery, some vegetables, some seasoning, a little bit of broth. And I actually like to have turkey in mine. And then you mix it up and you bake it in a pan. And it is the quintessential Thanksgiving food. It's what I'm going for. Like, I use it as the base of my plate. Like, I will put down dressing, and then the other things that I'm eating, I will put on top of the dressing. So every bite of something that I'm getting has got some dressing in it. I love it. It's incredible. It's another one. It's something where around here, everybody's got a family recipe. Everybody's got a way that that they grew up. Some people actually like it what I would consider underbaked, where it's still a little bit soupy. I like mine baked through to where it almost has the consistency of like a cake, so you can cut yourself just like a square of it out of the pan, or you can kind of spoon it up and it holds some shape. So like I said, but I've never heard anybody talk about cornbread casserole. So that's why I was wondering if maybe that might be a way that you could picture what it was. It was funny because when my wife and I were talking about this, doing this episode, she said, well, you're going to have dressing. And I said, definitely. I said, and then I think I'm going to have to explain to the three guys from Miami what dressing is.
I'm looking online, and the cornbread dressing doesn't look like. Yeah, that looks more like what we call stuffing. That doesn't look like. Yeah.
And like I said, the big difference is I don't consider it stuffing unless you actually cooked it inside the turkey. I think that essentially they're the same type of thing, but without actually cooking it inside the turkey, just making it in a pan. Call that dressing. So dressing / stuffing, I guess, for kind of a perspective on what I'm talking about, is my number one.
Okay.
It sounds delicious. And it looks delicious.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like stuffing. It sounds delicious. Sounds great. I'm looking at cornbread casserole, and that's very different than what you're describing.
Okay.
All right, but I'm learning. This is good. This is why we
I want to know what cornbread casserole is.
I think I'll send you the recipe that my mother-in-law uses. It's like she told me, she's like, I just googled it and found it out, but it's like it was fucking great.
Too.
It's been great.
Dude, look, we talked about this in the group chat, but my favorite part of Thanksgiving is just being in the kitchen and cooking for a house full of people all day. That's why I love this holiday. My favorite thing in the world is to be in the kitchen all day and cook for an entire house of people. It's why I invite people over to watch wrestling pay-per-views. It's why I will cook for 48 straight hours on WrestleMania weekend and stuff like that, because I just love being in the kitchen and just continuously cooking for people all day long. And so, please send it. I'm always looking for new things to cook. Keep me in the kitchen on Thanksgiving Day.
Mm-hmm. You just described what we go through every day of the year. That's just like, without exaggeration, there's 8 people in my house right now. And it's not Thanksgiving Day, not Thanksgiving weekend. There's fucking 8 people in my house. So
what I'm seeing when I look up pictures of cornbread casserole here, I think a lot of times when I've had something similar to that, I think it's just been called corn casserole. So I think I know kind of what you're getting at now with cornbread casserole.
Yeah, and then the pieces, the pictures that I'm seeing of cornbread casserole when I Google it is something much firmer than what I'm used to eating. It's something much like it comes out like in what you talked about, like you can slice it almost like pieces of cake, and that's not the cornbread casserole that I'm used to. So who knows? Again, maybe like I said, maybe my mother-in-law's been fucking up the recipe, but it just comes out delicious, and I don't like it's supposed to come out more solidified.
When she makes it, it's a little soupier. I think that we have something strikingly similar and just call it corn casserole, not cornbread casserole. So.
Sounds good to me, man. All right. So cornbread dressing is the bonus number 1. Dave, number 1?
My number 1 is the bonus number 2, and it's cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Never had it.
From the time...
Never had any type of cranberry sauce ever?
No.
Wow.
From the time that I can the very first Thanksgiving I can ever remember, the cranberry sauce was the main attraction for me. I would go back for seconds, and there would be more cranberry sauce than there was the first time. And when I'd go back again, it would just be cranberry sauce. And sometimes I would just, the very first plate I would make for myself was just cranberry sauce. And then I'd go back and get some other stuff. To me, that's what has always been the main draw. Is it's the perfect mix of sweet and tangy, and if you want to put it on anything, it goes with absolutely everything that is going to be on your plate. You get a spoonful of this, and then you get a spoonful of the cranberry sauce, and it's going to pair just beautifully.
Yes.
See, my problem with cranberries and the cranberry sauce and all that stuff is when there's an open debate throughout the world on whether the can that comes cylindrical is better than making it homemade, and there's an active debate that this is like the election that just happened. Mm-hmm. That people are like, oh, unless it's shaped in the shape of a can, the cranberry, I don't like it. I'm like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of cranberry.
I'd see now, and Dave, do you like all forms, or do you just like the jelly? Because I was going to ask. Yeah, see, that's how I am. I will take the jelly that looks like the can, and you just cut yourself the little slice. Yeah. But also, man, I've had from scratch cranberry sauces before that have the brown sugar and the nuts and stuff in them, and they're very different. But man, they're all so good. And you're right, because so much of what you eat on your Thanksgiving plate is salty and savory. To get that little bite of cranberry sauce with everything, anything that's on the plate can only be made better by getting a little cranberry sauce in that bite, man.
Yeah, I do prefer the homemade stuff, and if I had to pick one, it definitely would be that. And I figure that the more stuff you throw into that cranberry sauce, the better.
Oh yeah.
But I'll take that canned shit. Fuck, put it in a toothpaste tube and just fucking squirt it out onto the plate, and I'm good.
I'll load it in a super soaker and I can walk across the room.
I just pictured Dave in a very erotic, like on his knees, just like somebody spraying fucking cranberry sauce.
Did you picture him like I did with those things that they put on the turkey's legs? Those that look like little chestnuts on his legs?
Just put it in my mouth. Just put it in my mouth.
No, but to the YouTube viewers, once you started doing this, did you picture him like this? I was like, whoa, no.
Double fisting the fucking facial. All right. This is why you guys need to go to the YouTube channel and check out the YouTube video. All right. Jeff, what is your number one?
So my number one holds a special place. Actually, Debona mentioned a variation of this. My number one is made a bit special for my grandmother. God rest her soul. It's her broccoli casserole. I don't like broccoli. This year's when I've started to like broccoli, but I would fight anybody for. She would have to make 2 to 3 of these broccoli casseroles for our family, which isn't super huge, because people would fight for the leftovers of the broccoli casserole. She made it a little different than what you described at the bone of your aunt's. She actually did use stuffing instead. So the breading and the coating of it was stuffing. And then the mixture to hold everything together was cream of mushroom sauce.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And there was just something about that broccoli casserole that made me. It got to the point where we started expanding it from Thanksgiving because we liked it so much. And that's one of the things before she passed, she made sure that we all had copies of that recipe. So like I make it every year. We all make it every year. I think I brought it to the Friendsgiving that we've had with Dave at Dave's place before. There's just something about that. Like I said, I did not like broccoli. I did not like vegetables growing up. It isn't until recently that I've started to enjoy vegetables and stuff. But that broccoli casserole was one thing that teenage me, high school me, college me, 38-year-old me, I will fight anybody to the death to get at least half of that casserole dish back home. And I just, it always felt, every time I bite into it, it sounds corny, but every time I bite into it, I feel like she's there again, because it reminds me of her. That her flan and her broccoli casserole were her 2 signature dishes. And so, yeah, I knew right away that this was going to be my number one, was my grandmother's broccoli casserole.
Man, I like I said, the one I have with rice, I love. Having it with stuffing sounds even better. So, yeah, I like it.
Well, you call it corn casserole, so it's different.
It's broccoli dressing.
It's broccoli dressing.
Broccoli dressing is the best. Oh no, this is just Grandma's broccoli dressing recipe. Y'all just bear with me.
Fantastic. That's great, man. I've never tasted broccoli. I've never I've smelled it and never been a fan of the smell of broccoli.
Look, I know you're about to default to that I'm a fat guy thing, but you've never tasted broccoli?
No, I've never tasted broccoli. No, but it's not even a fat guy thing. I've just never. There's a lot of things that I haven't tasted. I've never tasted peaches. I don't know what peaches taste like. What's the other one? There was another one. There's like 2 or 3 fruits that my wife and I was just talking to my wife about it a couple months ago, and she's like, "You've never had peaches?" I go, "No, I've never had a peach. I've never had a peach. I've never had." No, that's the other one. It was 2 peas. It was a peach and a pear. I've never had a peach or a pear. And I've never had broccoli. And one of my favorite jokes is from about broccoli is from Ralphie May, where he goes, "I'm a healthy fat guy," which is hilarious because he's passed away because he was fat. And he would say that he's a healthy fat guy because he eats all these vegetables or whatever. He goes, "I eat vegetables. I love vegetables. I love me a salad." And he goes, "Except broccoli. Broccoli's fucking awful. Fuck you, broccoli." And he goes, "I don't like it when people come up to me and be like, 'Yeah, but you haven't had my broccoli.'" And he goes, "Really? Do you put broccoli in your broccoli? Then it's fucking gross." And just that line, "Do you put broccoli in your broccoli?" Is fucking fantastic. But no, I've never had broccoli. I smell it. It doesn't smell good. So I've never had it. And then every time I've had this conversation with Missy a couple of weeks ago when I was like, "Nobody likes broccoli," and she said, "I love broccoli. Oh my God, with cheese and blah blah." I'm like, "You are mentioning everything. Like, who eats like broccoli by itself?" I'm like, and I gave her the example of celery. I'm like, "You're just putting cheese or sour cream or whatever or blue cheese, whatever it is you're putting on the broccoli. You're just." It's a what was it that you said, Dave?
It's a vessel.
It's a vessel of just transferring these other delicious things on top of it. But
that's like me with Brussels sprouts. I have to when I make Brussels sprouts.
No.
When I make Brussels sprouts, I put like minced garlic in it, and I mix it up with stuff like that. I can't just eat them by themselves.
I can open my fridge right now, grab a crown of broccoli, and just sit there and pop them. Just break pieces off and eat it.
And
love
the one and only time I've eaten Brussels sprouts was in July of this year or August of this year, when I was in the green room with another comedian. He's like super healthy, and they're like, "You've never had a Brussels sprout? Try one. So they gave me a Brussels sprout. It was off a skillet of Brussels sprouts, and it actually tasted good until I got to the Brussels sprouts part. Like, it tasted like what tasted good was
the outer coating.
Yeah, it was like because it was like caramelized. Like, you know what I mean? It's like when you grill onions and you eat it. So you like, that part was delicious, the outside, and then the inside got to Brussels sprouts, and I was like, "Oh, this is god awful." But again, it's just I
love Brussels sprouts.
Me too, man.
Yeah, I stick a whole bunch of them on a wok with just a shit ton of olive oil, salt and pepper, just grill it up.
Yes, sir.
All right, so
I'm sorry, is it the olive oil that I like, Neri? Is that it?
What?
Is it the olive oil that I like? It's not the Brussels sprout?
I don't know. I don't know. The one Brussels sprout I tasted wasn't good. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
He wasn't ready.
I was like, what? I don't know what happened.
He wasn't ready.
I've only had one Brussels sprout in my life. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Now I'm going back to the one Brussels sprout. I'm like, did they have fucking olive oil in that bitch? David seems mad about the fucking olive oil. I'm like, was it extra virgin?
Neri's trying to draw an entire conversation off of one Brussels sprout. He's like, when that one time.
Matter of fact, they did put extra virgin olive oil. What do you mean extra virgin? Like, nobody's even looked at this fucking olive oil. Broccoli casserole. Sorry. My number one, just like Jeff, is very sentimental to me. On top of it being delicious and amazing, it's very sentimental because it's my mom's. It's the only dish on my mountain that isn't made by my wife every Thanksgiving, and it's my mom's mashed potatoes. And my mom's mashed potatoes is by far and away the best mashed potato I've ever fucking had. And everybody before my in-laws moved to North Carolina, we used to go over their house for Thanksgiving, and everybody that they had over, when they would taste my mom's mashed potatoes, they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. So every year they would request it. And one year, I guess there was some like information not given that my mother-in-law didn't know if I was going to bring the mashed potatoes or not. And she made her own. And then I showed up with my mom's mashed potatoes like I do every fucking year. And, well, the proof is in the pudding. Let's just say the proof is in the pudding because there was one mashed potato that was gone and there was another mashed potatoes that looked like it had just been put out. And my mom's mashed potatoes is shit. Aside from putting mozzarella cheese on the top and fucking and making sure it's a crisp golden brown mozzarella cheese on top, she also does not cook it with butter. She puts cream cheese instead of butter. She makes it with cream cheese instead of butter. And it is fucking creamy, delicious. It's bonkers how good that mashed potato is.
You said she crisped like a mozzarella on top, so it's like a mashed potatoes au gratin.
I don't know what you just said, but I'm gonna take that as disrespect. I don't know. I don't know what you said. I have no idea.
Potatoes au gratin, where it's like crispy on the top.
It's when you crisp the top like that. That's au gratin. That's I've never done it on mashed potatoes. I've done it on scalloped potatoes. To do it on mashed potatoes, I love that idea.
Yeah. So she puts mozzarella cheese on the top layer. Once it's already made, she puts the mozzarella cheese on the top layer, and then she puts it back in the oven, and then she crisps it on the top, so you have that extra layer of cheese on top. And she doesn't cook it with butter. She makes it with cream cheese, and it is fucking divine. So on top, aside from it being the best mashed potato I've ever had, there is a just like what Jeff said about his number one, there is a very, very direct correlation between eating that and even think about it and my mother. Like immediately, and my mom thankfully is still with us, but I know one day she won't be, but that mashed potato will always be connected to me with her. So God damn it, Jeff.
You got to make sure she teaches you to cook it while she's still here.
Well, yeah,
man.
I know how to make it. I know how to make it. It's just
okay.
And here's the thing with my mom, as I'm sure it is with a lot of our parents. They don't fucking. My mom does not believe in measuring cups.
Written down.
She doesn't write anything down. She doesn't believe in measuring cups. She doesn't believe in measurements. She eyeballs fucking everything.
Yeah.
And everything is like you put just and like her like it's so bananas to me that I'm like I went to culinary school for a couple of years, and I was like, this is not the way this shit is done, Mom. We gotta weigh shit out. You gotta weigh things. She's like, no, we don't weigh. She's just like, you grab, just look at it and look at it. You could tell that needs more. I'm like, how the fuck are you talking about? What do you like? It's just so.
Lewis hates cooking with me because that's how I am.
Yeah.
And he went to culinary school. He was like, I need the bowl and I got to pinch and I got to measure. I'm like, hand me some shakers. Just start grabbing stuff out of the cabinet. Like, let's go. And I can see like that vein pop out in his forehead, like when we're cooking something together. Because that's how I am. That's why I cook, not bake, man. Because I don't measure. I just go.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's a direct correlation between with that mac and cheese. So forever, the mashed potatoes. I'm sorry. So that's my number one is mashed potatoes. Mashed. All right. So for number ones, we had the cornbread dressing, cranberry sauce, broccoli casserole, and mashed potatoes. I don't even want to tell you, Jeff, how I spelled broccoli. Because it is not. I'm looking at it now, and I was like, "Does that say Barclays Center? What the fuck did I what did I write? I am way closer to spelling Barclays Center than I am fucking broccoli. I'm like, this is not. Is this Barcelona? Like, did I fucking write Barcelona? Like, what the fuck am I writing? All right, so that's our number ones. Our final mountains, we have 3 repeats. Mac and cheese. There was 3 picks for mac and cheese. Sweet potato casserole, there was 2, and cranberry sauce, there was 2 votes for that. So we only have 1 option available. So whatever you guys want is fine with me. That's not a condiment. It's fine.
I'm gonna throw pumpkin pie out there.
Yeah. Whatever you guys think. I like pecan pie. I like pecan pie over pumpkin pie.
I think it should be a dessert, but I'm not partial either way. on the dessert wise, but I think it should be a dessert.
I like pumpkin pie, so I won't argue it, and it's definitely super seasonal to being Thanksgiving. I think, and we've got sweet potato casserole on there, so to pick it over sweet potato pie, I think makes sense.
I like pecan pie because it stops David from getting the perfect mountain. So I like pecan pie the most. That's the one that I'm going to go with.
I don't think that's a good reason.
I think that's a fantastic reason.
Oh my God, is David on the verge of back-to-back perfect mountains right now?
Yeah. So let's say pecan pie is the pick. So I think pecan pie is.
See, I can't. I love pecan pie, but if I've got to put
I didn't put Cool Whip. I didn't put Cool Whip. It doesn't need Cool Whip. It doesn't need mountains and mountains of Cool Whip.
It doesn't need Cool Whip.
Well, that's not what you said in your argument for pumpkin pie. You're like as much Cool Whip as possible. As much Cool Whip as possible.
You're 45ing your way to a recount here.
No, that's actually opposite because I have proof and evidence and logic and reasoning. I don't want you to win. No. That's my logic.
I'm going to put my weight behind pumpkin pie because I consider it more of a Thanksgiving food, whereas pecan pie, that's just one that we have all the time as a dessert.
Yeah, you do, sir. You do. You live in Alabama, so we don't have pecan. There's no pecan pie. You don't throw around pecan pie over here.
What are you talking about? We can go right now and go get a. Whether you call it pecan or pecan, you can go get it right now.
Yes, because right now we're at fucking Thanksgiving time. That's why you can go get it right now because we're at Thanksgiving time.
I know y'all got Publix and they make them year round.
Yeah, so they make pumpkin pie year round too. I don't know what the fuck.
Bullshit.
No, you're wrong, sir. You're fucking wrong.
You're gonna find me a freshly made pumpkin pie in July.
You tell me the date. And I fucking promise you, I will mail you a Publix pie, a Publix pumpkin pie, any fucking time of the year, bro. Any time of the year.
And some chicken tender subs.
Bring one to my birthday.
The pub sub.
All right, bring one to my birthday.
Oh, now David's talking about his birthday like we're supposed to know when his birthday is. I don't fucking know when that is. Facebook lets me know the day before. By the way, it's your friend's birthday tomorrow. Don't be a dick. So whatever you guys, Jeff, I guess up to you.
I've never had pecan pie. So I'll say broccoli casserole.
I still think that gives Dave the win because I'm gonna vote pumpkin pie.
I said I'll just put broccoli casserole.
The worst.
32.
The worst. So we're gonna put Cool Whip for number one. So our final mountain is mac and cheese, sweet potato casserole, cranberry sauce, and Cool Whip. There you go, guys. Congratulations. You gave him another perfect mountain.
You can't lose gracefully.
I could lose gracefully. I just don't want to lose to Cool Whip. You fucking put Cool Whip on there, but whatever. Sure. It's fine.
You make one comment about Cool Whip. And all of a sudden
one comment. As much as humanly possible. Sometimes I put more Cool Whip than I do pumpkin pie. That was your one comment.
I did not say that. You said that.
Let's go back and listen to the tape. All right, so that's the list. As you can tell, frat guys get very passionate about their list, about their food. Thank you guys for checking us out. Make sure you check out DeBona's other podcast called What You Got. Are you guys doing a Thanksgiving Day edition for what you
We're trying to get something together, but Nick just moved to Florida and he's back and forth sometimes, but it's just hard to nail down a time when he's going to be here when I can do it. So we're trying to get back into it. He's trying to get a work schedule more finalized. It's on hiatus right now, but we do plan on bringing it back once his work schedule settles.
All I'm hearing is more reasons why you need to move to Florida, DeBona. That's all I'm hearing is reasons.
Hey, look, he's in Florida, but nowhere near y'all. He's close to Pensacola. He's in Lower Alabama, Florida.
Oh, that's not Florida. That's not Florida. All right, so make sure you guys check that out whenever that comes back. Jeff, you're on a couple podcasts that you want to promote.
Well, yeah. We're gonna. I think we're planning in the next couple weeks. If we don't go on another lockdown on our governor hates Florida, so we're fine. Crit or Die. And then I actually just started. I'm going to give a shout out. My friend Will, he's started a Twitch channel. He's been promoting our podcast. He's actually invited me. We're doing in honor of the Mandalorian Twitch stream every Friday night where we play Star Wars, like a D&D version of Star Wars. I recorded my first episode last Friday. His Twitch handle is Ravnos, RAVNOS, Archon, ARCHON. He's also doing a podcast, and he's doing stuff throughout the whole week. He does poetry and all kinds of stuff. It's great. But he's invited me on, and he's been promoting our podcast. So I wanted to give a shout out to him.
Ravenous, what was it?
Ravnos Archon.
Ravnos Archon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So check it. I've never checked out Twitch. I should go check that out. But I've never checked it out. So that'd be a good way to start, I think. And then you can check out my comedy at narysigns.com or whatwashisname.com. Again, this episode is on YouTube, so make sure you go to the YouTube channel. A couple days, 2 or 3 days after we post the episode, the audio versions, the video versions go up on YouTube. So make sure you guys check those out. And hit me up. Hit us up on all the social medias. It's Mt.Geekmore on everything. Hit us up on the Instagram and email us mtgeekmore@gmail.com for suggestions on maybe what topics you guys want to listen to. We're gonna be starting a what am I thinking, Jeff? What?
Patreon.
Yeah, we're gonna be starting a Patreon. Come 2020.
And OnlyFans.
Yeah, and come 2021. Well, OnlyFans I already have available. It's just of my feet, so you can't tell it's me. But but I have a tattoo that says Nary Signs, so it's gonna be a little weird. Anyway, so check out. We're gonna be starting a Patreon in 2021, but we're getting the ball rolling now for ideas. So make sure you guys email us at mtgeekmore.com. Shout out to Jamia who gave us who went on to the website. Geekbro.net and gave us a little broke us off a little something for a donation. And Izu did too. Izu did like a month ago, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned it about Izu, but Izu did about a month ago. So thanks for that, Izu. As always, long time listener. Thank you guys for checking us out. That's how fat guys talk about food.